Okay, go ahead.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, are you actually live?
Yes.
What's up, everybody? This is Alex Kelly back here with another episode of the Furloughed Film Talks podcast with my brother Ryan.
What's up, everybody?
This is a somber Friday. This is not a happy Friday, really.
Yeah, a lot of
we had a lot
public
of
people
dead.
died today.
Yeah, man. We're going to be talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier today, as well as a movie on Apple TV Plus right now called Wolfwalkers. And we're going to talk before all of that about Netflix and Sony teaming up. But Ryan, Prince Philip died.
Yeah.
Moment of silence. And DMX died. Moment of silence. Sad day.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
You feeling okay?
No, I'm great.
You gonna get past these uncertain and
Untimely deaths.
yeah.
No, I don't know how.
I just meant uncertain times that we live in. These unusual times.
Yeah, it's kind of wild though that like they both died today. You know what else is kind of crazy?
A lot of people die every day.
About the Prince Philip death.
What about it?
This was the wedding anniversary of Prince Charles and Camilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Diana was like,
They have a big family, so
yeah. They're just kind of like Diana was up in heaven, like, hey, screw up their anniversary every year.
Fuck yeah,
suck it. But yeah, they both passed away today. DMX as well, the rapper. He was 50. He had
a heart attack, right?
Yeah, he had a heart attack last week, and he was like in critical condition. And then like I think earlier this week they said that he what's it called? He had lost like brain function. He was basically comatose.
No, yeah, he was like a vegetable.
Yeah, so it was like
a little bok choy.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like it's an
Asian term.
Vegetable.
Oh Jesus. Wow, Ryan.
They have it at Shabu.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody really wants Shabu.
I'm craving Shabu.
Yeah, you want Shabu. Didn't we just have Shabu Monday night?
Yeah, it's been 5 days.
That's long, and that's more than that's not a lot of time.
That's exactly the number of days between when we had it last and on Monday.
It's really weird that you know that.
Well,
it's very strange. Very strange.
I was justifying it in my head if I could convince you to go. That would.
Anywho, rest in peace to DMX and Prince Philip as we go Shabu talk.
You're really disappointing me though with your. I seriously might go by myself.
Oh my God, Ryan! That is when you have a problem.
No.
Yeah. But anyways, I hope everybody had a great week. We are here with our 92nd episode of the podcast. We are inching closer and closer to 100 episodes. Remember to check out the Furloughed Film Talks Instagram at Furloughed Film Talks and our Twitter at Furloughed Film. We are basically now doing our live streams Monday and Fridays.
Yes. Whenever we feel like it. I think we just go to the Joe Rogan model where like, hey, we want to put fucking podcasts out, we'll put a podcast out. Like,
I don't know if I like that too much. I like having at least like, hey, like we do this night and then we do this night.
Well, I mean, we are fairly like consistent. Like it's either Monday or Tuesday or
Thursday, Friday
for them to come out like Friday, Saturday or Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. So
I mean,
yeah, we're consistent. We are.
Yeah. It's nice to have the flexibility, though.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like on a week like this where you were crazy busy earlier in the week and last week.
Week was really crazy.
And you will be feeling fine by like Monday. So do you want to announce what you are doing tomorrow?
I'm going to be pissed if I don't feel good.
Monday?
At all.
What do you mean?
I'm going to be fucking mad if this thing makes me feel bad.
It's going to make you feel bad. Like, just get ready.
Well, no, like 1 in 5 people have like worse than a sore arm. Like the number of people that have like the type of reaction that you did is like relatively small.
But like and this is like nobody that I've known has gotten the Johnson & Johnson. So I don't know what
they did have to close down.
And if everybody wants to know, Ryan's getting the vaccine. So like that's what.
Thanks for announcing.
Well, I just said Johnson & Johnson.
Private
healthcare
happenings.
Go sue me with HIPAA laws.
Well, they closed down a vaccine site in Colorado that they were giving out the Johnson & Johnson's vaccine, and like 11 people had serious reactions.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, like they had to. It was that like out of an abundance of caution, they like sent people to the hospital.
But it was out of some crazy number, like thousands and thousands of people they vaccinated. So it calculated out it's like 0.8%. 0.8% of people like had a reaction.
Yeah. Just get ready for a very sore arm. That like everybody gets that. So
yeah,
and if that's like the worst, then you're gonna be fine. But anyways, let's get.
You want to know what Alex Jones has to say about the COVID vaccines?
Not even a little. What does he have to say? I saw he jumped in front of what is alleged to be a child trafficking car.
Yeah, that was the other reason he was trending the other day. Yeah. The other reason was because he was like, listen, the mRNA vaccines, in 1 year, people are going to have serious dementia and you're going to be dead in 10 years. So.
All right, bro.
I'm just glad I don't have to get the one you got.
Pfizer?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be dead in 10 years, so whatever. And then this show will be done. But.
Hey, Max will carry on. I'll talk to Max and
he will just stare at you in his own dementia.
Yeah, he'd be old as fuck if
he'd be 23 years old.
23. Not outside the realm of possibilities though.
No, it could happen.
Some Jindo/Shivas have lived to like 28. So
seriously?
Yeah.
What?
It's true.
All right, dog. We're getting you super soldier serumed up. That's a callback. We're gonna be doing something about the Falcon and
Winter. Just imagine Max walking around like he needs like a doggy wheelchair or something.
No, he would literally look like the old grandparents from Courage the Cowardly Dog, or Prince Philip.
More like Prince Philip.
Yeah.
Before he was dead.
Yeah, literally like 3 weeks ago. Anyways, we're gonna get into some movie talk. Ryan, there was a huge story that broke yesterday as the kind of landscape of how movies are released into homes has drastically changed over the last year. Mm-hmm. Yet the latest domino fell, where Netflix and Sony have announced that they are going to have a licensing deal, which includes first look at new direct-to-streaming titles. So this will start in 2022. It means that any movie that Sony puts into theaters, that it will go straight to Netflix afterwards. So instead of this, they used to have a deal where it would go straight to Stars. Now it will go to Netflix, which is obviously a much bigger brand and has a ton of subscribers. So huge deal, changes kind of the whole game. Ryan, what were your thoughts about Netflix and Sony pairing up?
Yeah.
I need more than that, Ryan.
No, I was glad that it didn't because I was afraid when I first saw the headline for this. I thought this was gonna be like Sony and Netflix have teamed up to do like an HBO Max type release deal.
Oh, and, yeah.
James Bond on Netflix and May blah blah blah. I was really worried that Bond was going to be put on Netflix.
Yeah, that would be,
which would have really sucked. Which I guess we're going to get. That's coming out in October.
Yeah, so that's October 1st of this year. So this is that will not be included in this deal because this deal starts 2022.
Right. Well, I guess I mean to be completely fair, Sony doesn't put out a shit ton of movies.
Yeah, they really don't.
It's not going to be a huge drastic thing where they're putting a ton of movies on Netflix. I don't think.
I wonder. I'm interested because I wonder if this includes Sony Pictures Classic. Is that technically under Sony?
Yeah. Well, did they say that this deal was for all new release movies or for all of Sony's movies?
I think it's new released movies. Where was it in this article? Provides Netflix with an 18-month exclusive window for Sony films. Multiple bidders had been angling for the rights. There's a degree of flux in terms of when the Netflix exclusive will kick in on each film. Begin given fast evolving theatrical window strategies. So yeah, they don't even know when they'll start to get them onto Netflix. The kind of what's it called? The standard that it looks like it's going to be moving forward is 45 days. Because I think that's what Universal and Warner have said for
45 days after the end of the theatrical release.
Yeah, 45 days after it is released in theaters.
After it's premiered. In
theaters. So a month and a half after each time, it'll go straight to HBO Max or something like that. So that might be what Sony and Netflix do. But I just thought from because Jockey, which Clint Bentley here in Dallas filmed. He got bought by Sony Pictures Classic. I guess that'll come out 2021. But if they push that to 2022, will that be something where?
Well, that's coming out this fall.
Well, yeah, as I'm saying, but what if they push it to 2022, or what if it's like December of 2021, and then it's immediately put on Netflix 45 to 60 days later? Like, will Sony Pictures Classics movies be put on Netflix as well?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So, but the other thing about this, but the slate will kick off with tentpoles like Morbius, Uncharted, Where the Crawdads Sing, and Bullet Train. So this includes their Spider-Man movies and their Venom movies. Select library rights are also included as Sony plans installments of franchises like Spider-Man, Venom, Jumanji, and Bad Boys. Netflix will be able to gain rights to prior entries. Another high-profile sequel is a follow-up to Oscar-winning animated title Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So it will control all of the Spider-Man movies. So I guess those won't be going to Disney Plus if it's
no.
So just another kind of fly in the ointment per se to say. I don't know.
Per se.
So, gonna say something?
No.
Okay. No, it's just another way that everything is changing and everything's kind of moving fast and furious right now with streaming wars and.
Yeah, it's actually like that for end consumers. It's actually really nice because it's a fairly big studio who's if it truly is 45 days, that's actually going to be like maybe a little bit quicker than like what the typical movie is available for rent on like Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that sense, like as a consumer, that's really, really nice because you're going to be able to get these movies just with the cost of your Netflix subscription.
For sure.
And in a really like pretty quick release schedule. So
well, and that's like been kind of the problem with Netflix right now. Like it's good and bad. I should preface it that way, I guess. Like most of the movies that they're putting out are original. They're not known quantities or known commodities yet. So like with Sony, you can have these kind of bigger tent poles that all of a sudden are put on there and they're brand new. So like, which like Netflix is starting to have. You've got like the Stranger Things and the Umbrella Academies and maybe Extraction, but like you don't have Morbius, or you don't have like what was the one that they just said? Like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That'll be huge for Netflix.
The sequel.
Yeah, and Jumanji and Bad Boys, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this also says in this article, where was it?
What's up, Vinny?
Oh, is Vinny back?
What's
up, dude? Where was it? It basically said something along the lines of like, it is a boost for Netflix, which continues to face investor worries that it has lost key draws like Marvel and Pixar films, Friends, and The Office, which is a legitimate concern because, Peacock is literally advertising their, paid plans as Peacock plus you get more of The Office if you pay $5 a month. Like it could be free, but if you pay for $5 per month, you get all of The Office.
Oh yeah, they're like advertising their different tiers based off of like how much access to The Office you get. So
yeah,
which is like, I mean, Netflix is way different from what it was just like 3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at least for me, I would because like we're not the type of people who are going to watch The Office all seasons just over and over and over again. So I'd much rather Netflix be putting out original content
for sure.
And like, these, I mean, they're on pace to put out like a movie a week this year. So yeah, I like what Netflix is becoming. It's like, not only the premier place for original content, but hopefully, now it's going to be the main distribution center for Sony.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they were able to pick up a few other studios, but
who knows, man. I mean, it's good.
It's interesting, like how much I wonder, if it's even economically, like if you're doing the cost benefit analysis between like what Netflix is going to pay you to just put it on their platform versus what you would have got from people like either buying the movie on Amazon or renting the movie from Amazon.
Yeah.
I would kind of think that you would make more money by like keeping it on Amazon, but I don't know, maybe Netflix just paid out the ass for.
No, because I bet, would there not be something in there where, let's say they put like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 on there. Like, do they not then get a cut of how many people then watch it on I mean,
I wouldn't make that deal if I was Netflix. Like,
I'm not saying like a huge cut, but like there's got to be a little bit of like a kickback for like you get 1 million viewers or something crazy like that. Like I'm not saying like 1 million views is a lot, but
I mean, if you're Netflix, like, why would you do that? Like, the benefit for Netflix for being Netflix is saying like, hey, we're going to like pay you a fixed amount up front, and then we don't have to worry about like any further payments, and we get all the benefit of like releasing the movie.
I was just reading like the financial part of it. Like, there's no like concrete numbers of like what the deal is actually, so there's really no way to know like what they exactly agreed to. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to have to think about. But I mean, like for Sony, it's almost a no-brainer because you're gonna get a lot more people to like watch your stuff. Like you have a bunch of examples of movies being put on Netflix, and they had some form of a fan base behind them, but then as soon as they put on Netflix, they just explode. Like Code 8 is a really good example.
I mean, it's a no-brainer if the price was right from Netflix.
True, like, yeah. So this is just gonna be something to watch. This will start in 2022. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on this ride. Do you want to talk about Wolfwalkers first or Falcon Winter Soldier?
Let's talk about. Let's end it with Wolfwalker.
Okay.
Let's talk about Falcon the Winter Soldier.
So Falcon and the Winter Soldier has been humming along. They had their most shocking episode to date, which premiered today on Disney Plus. It was episode 5. Ryan, we are now into kind of the meat and potatoes. If you have not watched the latest couple episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, in spoilers.
Major spoilers from here on out.
The shit out of it. I don't think there's much to like recap in the episode, but like, Baron Zemo's a badass.
Yeah,
Baron Zemo is probably one of the best parts of this entire show so far.
I mean, the very like simple synopsis of this episode was Falcon and Winter Soldier are still after the Flag Smashers because they're still doing terrorist acts. John Walker's still after the Flag Smashers, and like Falcon and new Captain America are kind of bashing heads, trying to like go about the right way, trying to track down the Flag Smashers, and pretty much it. Wakanda's after Zemo.
Yeah, you've got like it's becoming very convoluted where it's like
it's not really like it's a little complicated, but it's also like for all the action that happened in this episode, like not a lot happened.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we need to recap it per se, just like kind of talk about it, because throughout the whole thing, the most that you remember from it is like the last 5 minutes. And so it's like, if you literally just cut everything out except for the last 5 minutes of this episode and you just watch that, like
there's like basically 2 scenes you really need to see, right? You need to see like the Wakanda ladies coming in and the big fight with
Daija or whatever the hell it's called,
between like the people from Wakanda and then Falcon the Winter Soldier and new Captain America. They're all fighting because they're not sure what to do with Zemo. Wakanda wants to take him back
because he killed T'Chaka.
Yeah, Captain America wants to take him back to America, keep him under arrest, and Falcon and Winter Soldier want to use him because he's been useful in trying to track down the Flag Smashers. All the while, Baron Zemo sneaks out the back.
Yeah, and they literally call him El Chapo because he like goes down the bathtub hole.
Yeah, I guess there's like a very large drainage hole in the. There's basically a manhole in the bathroom.
Yeah, under the tub. It was very convenient. But that's not to say like this episode wasn't good. It's a very good episode. It's just like it doesn't feel like it truly moves the like plot forward much or like the overall story move forward much.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like really close to the first episode where there's like several different really exciting action sequences.
Yeah.
But there's like for like the most part, it was just a placeholder episode, like
which is
barely moved. I mean, I guess you had like some pretty serious like character development with Captain America.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's gone from someone who we thought might have some potential to be like kind of a bad guy to like very solidly
bad guy,
placing him as like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He picks up like Baron Zemo. What's the girl's name? Who's the Flag Smasher?
Carly Morgenthau.
Carly, like there's this big fight to like try to take down Carly, and she like goes on a chase, and Baron Zemo
shoots her,
comes out of nowhere and shoots her, and then smashes all like the extra superhero serum that she has. But then Captain comes in and smashes Baron in the face with the shield,
knocks him out,
and then picks up the last vial of serum. And then you find out later in the episode that he took it, and now he's, a super soldier,
basically hulking out.
So he is now very solidly a fucking dick.
Yeah, very much an anti-hero or villain, whatever you want to call it. But like, and I think it's really like this episode is setting up kind of the idea that like Sam agrees with what the Flag Smashers' ideals are and what their what they're trying to do. It's just a way, and this is what he says. He says like the way you're going about it, I can't agree with.
Right.
And that was very much like a Steve Rogers type of thing to say, where it's like, I agree with your ideals, but you are doing it in a way that I cannot just justify.
Going about it in the wrong way.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, like I think setting that idea up, because it's obvious by the end of this that like John Walker's not staying Cap for much longer. Like,
I guess not.
Because and then let's talk about how this episode ends. Because spoilers, everybody. You have his sidekick get absolutely demolished,
killed
by Carly. Yeah,
thrown against a pillar,
thrown into a pillar. And because John Walker had just taken, and he probably would have snapped anyways, but like because he had taken the super soldier serum, he loses his shit and tracks down one of the dudes who was one of the Flag Smashers, and basically decapitates him in front of like God and everybody.
Yeah, just literally smashes his face in with the shield.
Which it's kind of supposed to be a allegory or metaphor for people have their phones now and they're recording police brutality here in America. I thought that was an interesting way to kind of set all that up. But he kills a guy, and it's very obvious that it was him, and it was in broad daylight. And they have this not awesome, but they have a shot where it's from below him, and you just see blood all over the bottom of the shield, and that shield is now tainted, the ideals of America are now tainted by this violent psychopath who has become Captain America.
Yeah, that was a really cool shot. It was very similar to the last pane of a comic book, where it's this epic fucking shot of the new Captain America just having done the very last thing Steve Rogers would have done with that shield, and showing it just covered in blood. And it was really cool.
I also really like the shot when Battlestar is the guy's name, Holmes, I think, Lamar Hoskins gets thrown against the pillar, and then they cut to Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky and Sam. They both turn, and that shot was in some of the ads. It's this kind of slow-mo weird turn thing. I love that shot as well, because it's that oh shit moment of dude, what just happened? And you said there's no way everybody would stop during this fight.
That I mean, sure, that's a cool moment, I guess. It's a cool still basically, but that scene was dumb as fuck.
The whole fight?
No. The fight was cool until Carly throws Lamar against the pillar. He's dead, and then everyone stops, and
that would have stopped in any other fight.
Yeah, and the Flag Smashers would have stopped and then just literally walked away. Yeah, and the other people would have just the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and
especially after she bombed a building the episode before.
What do you mean?
She bombed a whole building with people inside of it and killed them, and they were just kind of cool and run away. But then when she throws somebody against a pillar and kills them, they're
right. I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense if all three of the heroes stop fighting, they kind of sneak away. But this is very much everyone stops fighting and is oh shit, and then just everything's over. That's a really stupid fucking way to like.
It's not like it's been communicated to all of them that like John Walker now has the super soldier serum. Like there was one guy who saw him like bend the pipe and it was like, oh fuck. Like there's that, but like,
right?
Yeah, you don't know at that moment. None of those other people know at that moment that like this guy.
Well, no, I think they like after
he's kicking the shit.
After he's like actually being able to fight them, I'm pretty sure they know what's going on.
Are you excited for this show now? Is this
no?
Has this really?
I'm not.
I thought after like last week's episode, like
I was after like I like the direction they're going. I like this like team up between the heroes and the old villains of past movies with like Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Zemo. And now it's just like, okay, now we're back to this like fucking just
kind of side quest bullshit,
paint by colors, Marvel nonsense of like, this is the bad guy, let's go fight the bad guy, and we're gonna have like someone who's supposed to be on our side. Now we're gonna also fight them because they're kind of the bad guy. Like this is this is like Civil War 0.5 kind of like
it's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Like it's Civil War with like the bumpers on at the bowling alley basically. So
the only reason I agree with you on that is because like there's a moment where they like go to the little like safe house that they're staying in, and like they show you it at the very beginning of the episode. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I hope we don't ever see the inside of this place again. You see it like 2 or 3 different times, like where they go back to that place and they're just like sitting and talking. It's like It's like, okay, that's not why these types of shows are supposed to be out. Like what? That's not why we're watching these types of shows. But like that's kind of the problem with Disney with like long form shows that are rolled out of movies. Like in a 2-hour movie, you don't really have time for them just to sit around and like talk about what their plan should really be. But in a 6-hour show, like
they did that. They did that in the movies too, though.
But not like this bad, where it's like
not multiple times. I mean, I get what you mean.
So
like that. I mean, I wouldn't have much of a problem if just the story was more interesting and it wasn't like just so cookie cutter, right?
Yeah.
Like not only they're repeating like the trope with the serum, with the super soldier serum, like that's come back. We're like repeating the whole kind of like different factions of the good guy side fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like we're redoing that. We're like I liked last episode because it took us to like this new city, and it reintroduced Sharon Carter, and there's like this new environment and new characters and whatnot. The Power Broker is back here in the background somewhere,
which I think we're gonna see next episode. I think Power Broker makes his intro.
Yeah, we had Zemo dancing. Like we had cool. That was like a really interesting episode, and this is like okay. I mean,
which is like almost kind of. And you talk about Match Rapport. Match Rapport was something that like was very interesting. Like there's a lot of lore to it.
Right.
They set it up really well, and like they kind of introduced it in a great way. And then this episode, we're gonna be in Latvia.
Yeah, I think
so. It's like
I think at least I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people had this problem or like had this issue with these shows. Like I think for me at least, for the shows that are like a direct like carryover from the movie, like this is a direct carryover from like the repercussions of the snap, where you had everyone disappear and then like the world came together and now the Flag Smashers are mad that like everyone came back and like everything's kind of going back to normal. Like any of the Disney Plus shows that are kind of like that and then just like follow this very standard formulaic like Marvel storyline, I think is gonna like just feel repetitive. And then any show that is like doing something very fresh and original, like WandaVision was very fresh and original.
Loki,
right?
I think is going to be very.
Loki is like the exact same way, where it's going to be yes, it is a derivative of what happened in Endgame, but it's cut off. Like none of the characters are going to like kind of carry over except for Loki. That is going to be a completely original world, new characters, new like story.
Because then that's going to have a great path forward, because the idea is him stopping the branches that he created by like taking the Tesseract and basically effing off. And so it's going to be very different timelines that we're going to see, and like different ways that like reality could have branched off.
Right, and it's going to be
going to be cool.
It's going to be a completely new look at the Marvel universe too, because like Owen Wilson's character is part of this agency, kind of a la Umbrella Academy, who is like responsible for making sure the timelines are all like good, I guess, or operating correctly. Yeah. So like that newness and that freshness is gonna be really cool. Falcon was like I had this issue like before I even saw a single episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was like, they basically just took like a few scenes out of like a couple movies where Falcon and Winter Soldier had good chemistry. And they're like, we can make a fucking show out of this. Yeah. And then they kind of like,
but they needed to have a way to like get a new Captain America, like to have Sam really kind of grow into being Captain America. And I think that was justified. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but like that's not even what's happening. Like, do you think by the end of the season he's going to be Captain America?
Yeah. By like midway through episode 6, he'll have like a full-on Captain America costume.
Like, we did not fucking need, what is it, 6 episodes?
Yeah, you could have done it in like a 2.5-hour movie.
Exactly.
But I think with like the flag.
Yeah, exactly. Like, give me a damn near like 3-hour movie like that.
I love that we're bitching about extra content. Like, no, don't give us 6 hours. We want 3. Like, it is kind of like,
I mean, if you're
bratty almost.
If you're gonna give us like 2 placeholder episodes out of the 4 we've seen so far, and only one has been like kind of like really interesting to watch, then I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah.
I do like the justification that they gave, because like they're giving more background to the Flag Smashers, and one of the lines that I thought was really important to add, and I guess maybe it just went over my head earlier, but like the idea of why the Flag Smashers are so upset about like what's happening with everybody coming back was like they were welcomed into countries that had never wanted them, and they were able to have new jobs and new homes there, and then when everybody came back, they got kicked out.
Even that doesn't make any fucking sense though, because like Carly's from, is she like supposed to be from this Latvian country?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, we have no idea, but this is like kind of assume.
Let's assume she's from Latvia.
She's from Latvia, right? Latvia is a European Union country. If like in the real world, if a Latvian citizen wanted to go to any, but
what if she wanted
the premise that like she couldn't, there's places that she like weren't accepting of her, or like she couldn't go, is like patently bullshit. She could have gone anywhere in the EU.
What if she wanted to go to America and like couldn't afford it, or like there was no job that would have?
It has nothing to do, like that doesn't. The fact that she can't afford to go to America, like that's not a justification. You know how many fucking like people who like can't afford to go to America? I don't see like people today who can't afford to go to America creating terrorist fucking organizations and like, like.
But I think that's
the whole justification for what they're doing is just like.
I'm not saying really you should be she is justified killing people because of that, but like the justification, it is more sensical than just like, we want open borders and we're going to bomb places. Like, that's like, okay, like that's not a real reason. And this kind of gives that idea of what really happened to them, which was no idea if they were part of a country that was in the EU, don't know where they were from, but they went to countries that supposedly never wanted them. They went there, they welcomed them with open arms because everybody was just wanting a sense of community, basically.
Right.
Which everybody wants. Everybody wants to feel wanted in a way. And then all those people came back and they got kicked out. And so, it does make like, it makes sense. Like none of us have ever gone through anything like that, but like
clearly,
yes. But like if that were to happen, that'd be kind of shitty. If like all of a sudden,
it would really suck. But
you built like 5 years of your life, and then all of a sudden it's just like you should be kind of happy that all these people are back. But like there is that flip side of like if you move.
I mean, I think the worst part is like they're trying to create this narrative that, okay, everyone got snapped out of existence. The people that got left behind, the people that were like less off kind of had a higher standard of living because like the more opportunities, more, just more of everything to go around really. And then when everyone came back, they were kind of put back in their place. Like, instead of very, like, we are getting a 6-hour season of this, or 6 1-hour episodes. Like, fucking just show us. Don't have this be like this, kind of fucking Fugazi like storyline about how,
like, not them talking about it, like actually show it in motion type of
you
deal.
like actually have examples, like do a flashback and like show how it all went down, especially for like you wouldn't have to do it for all the characters, like just do it for Carly, like show exactly what happened to her to make her so militant and so like insistent that she needs to fight like so aggressively for it.
And instead of doing that, they're just like having her have like a mentor who dies.
Right.
Like then that's what their way of showing it. It's like, this woman like helped me and now she's dead.
Yeah, she has a mentor that dies, and like there's this evil global organization that's like reinstating national borders. That's bad. And now they've even like trickled in this kind of idea of supremacy, like,
oh yeah, the supremacist idea.
Like, that's weird. Like, I saw a few videos on YouTube today of like, oh, Disney's getting woke, and they're like referencing white supremacy, like almost directly, by saying that like the Nazis were supremacists. Like, what kind of, in the real world, what flavor of supremacy were the Nazis?
Yeah.
Very much white supremacists. So it's like, that's a weird kind of angle.
It is a weird angle to go with this whole show, but like
for fucking like kids comic book TV show, like
this is not meant to be for kids, but I get what you're saying. Like the comic books are, well, not even that.
Like, this genre of like movies or TV shows is like was originally
for toys.
Yeah, and geared towards kids.
Yeah,
like
to sell for kids' toys. But now we've got like R-rated comic book movies.
Anyways, like, it's just
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I'm interested to see like how they wrap this all up, and to kind of see how they wrap it up with like Zemo. Like I think this is the biggest problem that I have with this show. Like, I don't really care about the Flag Smashers too much. Like, if they're not super interesting, like if we can understand somewhat of why they're doing it, but at the end of the day, it's like, nope, you're wrong. Like, you're corrupted. You're bombing people. Like, bad. So it's like,
right.
So like, but I do like the fact that Sam is kind of having that same storyline because of how he's treated in America and how there are those inequities within America, and there is that subplot. And so I do like that part of it and them addressing it that way. But like with the Flag Smashers, it's just like, just beat them already and like, let's get back.
And I mean, like, if what you think is going to happen actually happens, and like Sam ends up as Captain America in a Captain America suit with the shield, like, that's just so fucking like disingenuous to the audience, because it's like, how did we start this fucking, like, we started the season with him giving up the shield. He didn't think he was worthy, or he didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Well, I think
so, like,
I think they're going to frame it as Captain America was given the title of Captain America was given to John Walker. John Walker embodied the absolute worst of America, kind of like what has happened the last couple of years or whatever. And through this,
what do you mean?
What happened in January? What happened like the last year?
Okay.
Police brutality and all that type of stuff. This is where I think they're going. They're going to say it through all that like this is the worst of what Captain America can be. He's tarnished it. And then Sam is going to say, I'm going to bring it up from what it should be. Like, I've learned through this process of how I can be a better person and how I can really embody what Captain America is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Am I going to be perfect? No, but Steve was never perfect. And so it's going to be this idea that, the shield has been brought this low with blood on it. We're going to pick it back up and give it to the right person, the person that Steve Rogers really wanted to have it. I think that's where they're going to kind of take this.
I don't know. I think they're just like, I can see what they're trying to do. I think just they're not pulling it off very well.
Executing it very well.
Yeah, like they kind of went into writing this with that being their end goal, and then we're like, okay, how do we,
how do we fit in?
How do we fill in 6 hours, and like, how do we do this arc? And then they had to come up with the Flag Smashers, which have a kind of weak justification for what they're doing. So all in all, I mean, I'm excited to see where it's going. I'm grateful that we have weekly content from Marvel, and like we have new stuff from them. So
I think the finale of this is going to be really cool. So I think that's going to pack a lot of emotional punch.
They said like if this is a one and done like WandaVision was.
No, there is a potential for this to go longer, I think.
So like another season.
Yeah, Loki for sure is like a one-off. Or maybe they said Loki could be 2. I don't remember. But like Falcon and Winter Soldier, there's the potential for another one.
I would have just. I mean,
there's no potential for like there's no numbers that we could look at to see how well it's doing.
Right.
They said it was like the highest watch thing in the first 24 hours on the first episode or some shit like that. But like, can't really trust them on that either. So it's like we don't really know how it's doing numbers wise.
Right. Like if they do season 2 and like say Sam becomes Captain America at the end of the season, and then like the whole next season he's just Captain America. That's what I expected from this season. I expected the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I expected Sam got the shield from Steve Rogers. I expected this whole fucking season for him to be Captain America, and like,
and that's just not what they've done.
That's not what it's been. It's like, did you really need a whole season for him to like learn that he could be Captain America just so you could have a second season where like to do what you really kind of should have done in the first season?
You know what plot they've completely abandoned that I just thought of?
What?
The whole like checking off the list thing for Bucky. Like that's completely gone away. Like him with that old guy, the old Asian dude that like his son he had killed.
Oh yeah.
Like they've completely done away with that side story. Like that hasn't come back.
Oh, that was just a like one
I thought they would go back to that where he would like say, "Hey, like I feel bad for killing your kid. I'm sorry." So I'm interested. I don't know. Like I'm enjoying it. I wish it were going in a couple different directions. But again, this is kind of the problem of it's been a problem for decades now. But 6 weekly releases, you don't have the full story yet. You don't know where this is really all going to end up. So next week is going to be the longest episode that they've released so far. It's 61 minutes long. So I'm very excited for next week's episode. So, but maybe that shows that it is doing its job. It's getting me excited. So we got some questions.
Yeah, let's answer some questions about Falcon and the Soldier.
Okay.
Does John Walker give up the shield, or does Sam take it from him?
I think the U.S. government takes it from him. I think the U.S. government, because this is gonna like, you see all those people with like the phones.
Yeah.
And so all those people are gonna like, it's gonna be posted on the internet.
You think he's just gonna give it up willingly? Like some fucking like, superior officer's gonna ask for the shield back, and he's gonna give it up, or
no? I think that's a good question. I don't know if
I bet Bucky takes it from him. That's my bet.
I'd love to see that.
Because Sam's not a super soldier, so it's like I think it's gonna be a fight between Bucky and John Walker. But
I would love that. I would love to see that actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, my prediction is that the U.S. government is going to ask him, or he's basically going to tell him that he's not Captain America anymore, and then Sam gets it back. I think he gives it up willingly.
I doubt it.
We'll see. I think.
Okay. You think in the last episode Sam will get the shield, or second to last episode?
He is going to get it back probably the last episode, because there's clips from like the trailers where he's like throwing it off trees and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of expected that like just to be not in.
I think that'll be like towards like I think that'll be in the last episode.
Okay.
So I think I think he'll get it back the last episode. So kind of like when maybe I'm gonna re-advise what I just said. He's gonna get it. They're gonna have like this huge fight next episode with John Walker. It's gonna go like the whole thing, and it's basically gonna be like him trying to keep it. But then like towards the end of that episode, they get it back.
Okay. Huh. Then Katrina O'Connor says hello, quips and lashers. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Thank you.
And then, do you think there will be a post-credit scene? And if so, what? I'm assuming he's asking for like the last episode.
Yeah, there will definitely be one for like the last episode.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna, because Don Cheadle was in the first episode. I think the last episode is gonna set up something about either Armor Wars, which is gonna be his show, or or Thunderbolts. Because I think with Baron Zemo in the show, they're going to have him be in the Thunderbolts at some point. So
okay,
I think maybe that's something that they could be setting up.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean,
yeah, like they always go like crazy directions, so you never truly know like how these things are going to be set up. But there's so many different shows that they've got coming out that like
there definitely will be one, and it'll probably will be like some kind of crossover.
Yeah,
someone
freaking awesome. So
yeah,
and there will probably be two. So
that's what I was, Vinny. I was literally just about to say might be something with Hawkeye, because he said maybe a Hawkeye post-credit scene. I think that would be really cool because it like doesn't make sense for them to do anything with Loki or like it makes it kind of
maybe Shang-Chi.
I did no
because like there's some people who are saying that like the power broker character might be connected to the Mandarin, who's going to be the main villain in Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. So maybe there's something that connects to that.
The Royal Mandarin.
Yes.
Okay.
So because that comes out, that got pushed to September. It got pushed whenever what's it called? Black Widow got pushed.
Yeah, because it's Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man.
Yeah. So I think that
maybe
September 3rd, 2021.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a Eternals.
Man, because I don't know. That is like nuts.
We haven't seen anything.
We haven't seen anything for Shang-Chi either.
No. I mean, like for the Eternals, we haven't seen anything like even set up in the in any movie or any show yet.
We have actually. So in Guardians of the Galaxy, when the Collector is talking about the Infinity Stones, one of the times that he shows like these people, they're running and they get like wiped out. Those big freaking like monster looking things are called Celestials. They create the Eternals. So that's like a connection to the Eternals.
Okay,
that's the one connection.
Very, very, very loosely. Yeah. And that was like how many movies ago?
2013, 2014. It's forever ago.
But, right, yeah. I mean, it like hasn't been set up like
properly. So yeah, I could see them doing something like that, which would also be badass.
I would think we'd probably see the Eternals somewhere in Loki, though. That seems more like that
would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
which would also set up the timeline because Loki starts late April, early May, and so like that comes out in November. So like one of the last episodes.
Okay, last one before we move on. Do you think maybe post-credit scene could be Baron Zemo talking to Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah, that's what I just said. So
yeah, that's what
Thunderbolts. I definitely could see them setting something up like that, which would be incredible. Which would also mean that we would be getting Red Hulk at some point, which would also be cool. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to
Wolfwalkers.
Yeah, we straight up turned into like 12-year-old little girls and watched Wolfwalkers, which is an Apple TV original movie.
Yes.
An original animated, hand-drawn
2D animated movie from Apple TV Plus. And I pulled it up because I wanted to know who like made this movie, like what was the company's name, because we watched a review for it and they said, and I was like, damn, this Cartoon Saloon. Does that sound familiar, Ryan?
Maybe.
They're based in Kilkenny.
I know, in Ireland.
Yeah,
they've done like several movies like this in the past few years, and like all of them look amazing. I really want to see like the original one they did. It was
The Secret of Kells.
Yes, that one.
I want to see Song of the Sea. That looked insane.
That too. If we do go back and watching these, I want to see them like in order.
Yeah. So this company was started in 1999. It's a company called Cartoon Saloon. They make 2D animated, hand-drawn films, And this one is called Wolfwalkers. Ryan, do you want to give a quick kind of rundown of what this movie is all about?
Sure. So this movie follows this young girl who lives in a English town in
Called
like
Kilkenny.
Called Kilkenny in like 16th century.
Yeah, it's 1650.
1650. Well, okay, that'd be 17th century. Anyway, her dad is an English hunter, and so it's an English town, basically an English colony in
Ireland.
And like the basic premise is there's all these wolves that are threatening the town, and like this little girl's dad is kind of tasked by the governor of this town,
the Lord Protector,
to rid the town of the threatening wolves. And the wolves are actually led by this mom and daughter duo who are able to have this. Basically, when they're awake, they're in like normal human form, but when they fall asleep, they become basically like spirit wolves, where their spirit like leaves their body and transforms into a wolf,
which everybody can see. So it's not like it's like a ghost wolf. It's literally like
it's like a
physical wolf.
A physical wolf. Yeah, it's very strange. Anyways, like,
it works.
It works really well. So this little girl from the English town and the Wolfwalker girl kind of meet up and they become buddy. Eventually, like the Lord Protector kind of gets pissed off that the hunter can't rid the wolves, so like all kind of shenanigans go down, and basically, yeah, I mean that's the premise. I don't
want to spoil.
I kind of don't want to spoil this one, like.
Even past like what happens in the first like 15-20 minutes, like I don't want to spoil, because like I think the beauty of this movie is like go into it not knowing a ton about it, because the way that they like progress the story and how, because it's one of those movies where you're like, oh, those like that little girl who like wants to kill wolves is gonna like start to like wolves at some point. So it's like obvious that that's gonna happen,
right?
But how they kind of subvert that and make her like wolves, I really like. Like I
don't really like wolves.
Well, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to say.
I know.
So it's like that part about it I really, really liked, because it's like instead of just being like, oh, I hate wolves, to I now like wolves, like with no justification or no like real reasoning behind it, like really sucks, and it's easy to do in like a kids movie. But like this movie excels really well because it takes that premise and just kind of twists it and puts it on top of its head, while having some of the best visuals in an animated movie like you will ever see.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, it is 2D like hand drawn animation, but it's also like basically a moving watercolor. Like the entire movie just is like a so pure and like just perfect like moving piece of artwork.
Yeah,
it's so gorgeous, especially like how the wolves move, how how the grass flows, how like they depict like the town in the background. Like you don't, instead of it being like roofs of houses like kind of stacked behind one another, and it's like if you look out over like just say London, in 1650, like you're just gonna see like buildings kind of off into the distance, right? Instead, this is just like when they look at the town, it's just a flat, fucking like image with like little triangles where the rooftops are, and then like at the very top of the image is like the Lord Protector's domain and castle, and so it's so fucking beautiful.
And it's so cool. And this is like one of the great things about this movie is like when you go inside the town, it's all gray and just kind of lifeless and very English. But then when you go outside of the town, it's the woods and it's fresh and it's green and there's plants and trees and shit and just all over it. It's so vibrant and Irish, and like it's obviously that dichotomy of the woods and there's life out
there. There's like nature versus
like just
like industry,
doldrums,
and everything that's shitty about human civilization.
Yeah, just like death. And so like it's that very not yin yang. It's that difference that they show, and they do it with how they paint those pictures, how they show the vibrancy of the woods in those warm, inviting colors. They do such a great job of that. And every time they go back into the woods, I'm just like you feel almost at ease. Like you want to go outside. It really is a great way for you to be hooked into this movie.
How many times did you cry in this movie?
At least 3.
Okay.
I teared up at least 3 times because it just emotionally wrecks you. Mm-hmm. And it's some of the music, which you said it's Aurora that sings one of the songs.
Yeah, one of I think the only like full length commercial song they put in it was Aurora Running with the Wolves, which obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
and that's the song that they play in the trailer and whatnot. That's what got me like interested in it because I heard like I love Aurora and I heard that Aurora's song great, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, Norwegian singer-songwriter Aurora contributed to the soundtrack with a re-recorded version of her single "Running with the Wolves."
Yeah.
No, she has a song like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that like they played in a Flash episode.
Yeah.
That made me bawl.
Love her
insanely. But yeah, so like they have her music in it, and I think it's one of the scenes with that song where I just was like, cry, just a single tear. It's so good, dude.
Like, and it was like there's a really kind of emotional parts of it, but there's also a good part of this movie that's like really funny. There's really funny parts of this movie.
The beginning with like the townspeople.
Yeah, and like the guy who's in the stockyards.
But that's what I'm talking. Yeah. That guy's awesome. I love
it. Fucking hilarious.
And yeah, there's not that many people that like American audiences probably know, but like Sean Bean is the biggest by far that's in this. He voices Robin's dad.
If you don't know, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
He's been a villain in a ton of movies.
Possibly
GoldenEye, Patriot Games.
Was he in Liners in the Wardrobe or one of the Narnia?
I don't think so.
It feels like he should have been.
He might have been.
Anyways.
National Treasure, Troy, Flight Plan.
Yeah, Sean Bean's
Silent Hill, Black Death.
Sean Bean's a hoss, even though his character's a little bitch.
Yeah. But, I think he gets redeemed towards the end.
He gets. Yeah, no, he definitely gets redeemed. But like
at the very beginning, it's basically kind of like
he's kind of like he's not very good at his job.
Yeah, which but he's working against mystical forces.
This is true.
Yeah, so like he's a 17th century like English dude out of his depth, trying to track down wolves who are literally being controlled by like what is supposed to be a 9-year-old.
Yeah, true. Very
so true. No, I had heard about this on Twitter, and I've been kind of putting it down the list of things to watch. But everybody that I had seen was like, "This movie's amazing." And then you said like, "Hey, do you want to watch this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I wish we had watched this sooner. Like, this really
this did get nominated for a Academy Award. Right?
Yeah, and there's a lot.
So this now makes me want to see Soul just to like compare the two and know which ones to kind of root for.
Yeah, because and that's the thing. When we watched it, I was like, I don't know how Soul can be better than this. But a lot of people think Soul won at the Golden Globes.
Was this nominated in the Golden Globes?
Let's see. Yeah, best animated feature.
Yeah, I think I wonder, has this won any awards yet? Has it said? Did it win BAFTA?
So it won AFI Fest, Austin Film Critics, Chicago Film Critics, Dublin Film Critics, kind of your home crowd there, Hollywood Critics Association Award, LA Film Critics National Board of Review, New York Film Critics, San Diego Film Critics, Satellite Seattle, Toronto, and that's it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Soul might get the home court advantage.
BAFTA hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
That's this weekend. That's Sunday.
So unfortunately, Soul, at least at the Academy Awards, it might be a tough climb for.
It's gonna be a hard one, but it has a chance. It's incredibly good.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to watch Soul just to kind of see like which one should win.
Mm-hmm.
But like both, I bet are amazing movies. Ryan, what would you give a Wolfwalkers?
I would give this one a 4.25 Geno Max head rating.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.5.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 too.
Okay, we are in agreement. 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. There are going to be no. Never mind. There might be a sequel in the future.
I'm down. Actually, yeah, the way this movie ends, I'm like, I would love to see a sequel.
Yeah. He said, so like future, this is Tom Moore. No, I don't think we'll do sequels per se. It would be unusual if we did that, but we do tend to continue in the same vein, so we'll see. The next few films that we will do will be quite different. Who knows what's down the line? And then he said during an interview in 2021, Moore stated that there are no plans for a Wolfwalker sequel, just like his previous films, The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea have no sequels, which like that's what Pixar said early on, and then like they turned into a sequel machine. So
yeah,
who knows at some point.
They got bought by Disney and turned into a sequel machine. So,
but who knows at some point if like all of a sudden they have super high demand and they're like, yeah, we have an idea for something. They do it. I would not be opposed to that. But
cool.
Go check out Wolfwalkers, Apple TV Plus. It's a must watch.
While you're there, check out For All Mankind.
Yeah, are you gonna watch the latest episode of that tonight, Ryan?
Fuck yeah, I am.
Oh, I bet you are.
My man Gordo's got some.
How many episodes of that is left?
I don't know, and I don't really want to know.
I don't know.
But
are there any other questions?
Okay, yeah, Benny. We actually talked about this the other day. He asked, "Have you guys checked out Batman: The Long Halloween trailer yet?"
I still haven't watched that yet.
Okay,
you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. I'm really fucking psyched for that.
Yeah, like, I'm super stoked for it. I probably don't even need to like watch the trailer for it.
No, it's gonna be super cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch it anyways.
So the first part comes out in June, and then the second part comes out in sometime in like October, I think maybe.
Yeah,
because they're doing a 2-part. Like they're doing 2 whole movies.
One.
Yeah. So yes, I've seen it. Alex will watch it
at some point. Yeah,
at some point.
I'm gonna watch the movie anyways.
We're definitely gonna cover that because it looks sick.
Anything else?
That's it.
Do you want to know how many episodes are left in this season of
For All Mankind?
Yes.
No, I guess tell me, but including today's.
There's 3.
Including today's?
Yeah, so it's on basically the same track as Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
So, so this has been a fun episode of the Furloughed Film Talks, a podcast. Ryan, do you want to announce what film festival we're going to be covering in a couple weeks?
Sure.
I'm going to drop this on you right now.
Have you decided if you're going to...
I have not, honestly.
I honestly think you're fucking crazy if you do. But
I kind of want to, but we'll see. We are going to be covering the Atlanta Film Festival.
You're going to announce it, I guess.
Well, yeah, what? Why?
Okay.
I thought you said yes.
Yeah, but... Oh, I thought you meant like... Sorry.
Oh, you can announce it.
No, it's okay.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Where are we going, Ryan? Where are we going to be attending?
Well, we're not going virtually.
Virtually.
The Atlanta Film Festival.
Perfect. We will be covering all the movies and documentaries that come out of there, as well as the short films. Somebody reached out to me that is going to be at the Atlanta Film Festival. It was a short documentary that is going to be at the Atlanta Film Festival called Snowy.
Cool.
It's a short documentary about a pet turtle who they've tried to decide if he is happy or not, or can become happy. It was very interesting. You need to watch it. So
you've already seen the documentary?
Yeah, it's 11 minutes long. It's great.
Okay.
It goes in a direction that you would not expect. So
Does turtle do cocaine or something?
Yeah, it just like goes nuts. Kind of in a way, actually. So we will definitely be covering that, as well as other stuff that is going to be happening at the Atlanta Film Festival. If you are interested in getting passes to the Atlanta Film Festival, they can be got at atlantafilmfestival.com. That will be taking place, I believe, the 22nd through May 2nd.
Okay.
So you can check that out virtually. I don't think tickets are too much.
All right, one last question from Vinny before we wrap this up. What's your guys' thoughts on Phoebe Water-Bridge joining Indiana Jones 5?
I think it's badass. I love Phoebe Walker.
Yeah, okay.
Walter or Walker?
He says Waterbridge.
Yeah, okay. Phoebe Waterbridge. I love her. So I think it's amazing.
Two very polar opposite opinions on this, right?
This ought to be great.
On the one hand, I love Phoebe Waterbridge, and I think her in anything is amazing.
But kind of weird that she's gonna be in an Indiana Jones movie.
No, just that there's going to be an Indiana Jones 5.
That's okay. No, that's a completely valid.
Just fucking stop.
Yeah,
stop. Unless you're gonna make young Indiana Jones,
yeah,
don't make another fucking Indiana Jones movie.
No, that is a very valid critique to have or worry to have because they just kind of need to
especially the last two were so trash.
No, the last one was horrific. Yeah, they're so. But I think is she set to write it as well?
I don't know.
I think she is. They should totally let her write some of it because she is a genius writing. So
yes,
if they are, then I'm pretty stoked.
Yes, and they need to do the young teenage Indiana Jones. Did you ever read those books as a kid?
We read them as kids, and you are infatuated with
Love those books, man. What's better than a teenager sneaking into the Great Pyramid? I mean, who among us didn't want to sneak into a pyramid?
Well, now if they did that, they would just post it all over TikTok. So, is that what you want, Ryan? I'm having to wade through the absolute.
No, I want them to make a
Ducks.
1990s authentic teenage Indiana Jones movie.
I really want to go on a rant on how bad Mighty Ducks is. It's
tonight.
So bad, dude.
Have you finished the season?
No, it's only through the 3rd episode.
Oh, they're doing it weekly?
Yes. Oh, they're torturing me weekly with this shit.
Did you watch it at school?
Yeah, I just watched it during my lunch break.
Oh, okay. I was surprised. I woke up this morning. I was surprised you were gone.
Really?
Yeah.
I almost. Yeah.
Do I know
why?
You literally went to bed and yeah, I'm gonna go put an absence in.
No, I
okay.
Got it. One of the reasons why is because I had COVID and missed school and then went on vacation and just had generally missed some time. And then one of my students yesterday said to me, she's like, "You're probably not gonna be here tomorrow. That's how you do it. You are here for 3 or 4 days and then you miss a day." And I just go, all right. So this morning I woke up and I was like, I'm not proving her right. So
it's really sad that
whatever she picks up on it. Well, that's what happens when you get COVID or the vaccine. But yeah, Mighty Ducks sucks. Whatever. Mighty Ducks suck.
Okay.
The show sucks.
I'm really glad I didn't start watching it.
It's awful. I am so mad at this show. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever watched.
We knew this though.
No, it's so bad, dude. I don't get how they did this badly. It is honestly astonishing. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being.
I'm sorry
but Disney is pimping me out and making me watch it. And I'm gonna come on here and my childhood nostalgia is making me watch it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Fucking Mighty Ducks. God, oh my god. It's really great though whenever Garrett texts me and he's like, dude, they did it again. I'm like, what'd they do this time?
What'd you expect?
What'd they do this time? And he was like,
it's not going to change. It's not
hockey is bullshit. And it's all right. Yes. There's a scene in today's episode where the game ends and they scored their only goal of the season so far.
Okay.
And one of the other players cheap shots him after the game is over, boards him and basically gave him a concussion. Okay. And the ref skates over and is like, that's a unsportsmanlike conduct, 5-minute major. And the kid's the game's over. He's like, then remind me at the next game. And just skates off. No, that kid would have gotten suspended and kicked off the team. No.
Okay.
Anywho, that's been another episode of the Furloughed Film Talks podcast. Everybody, thank you guys for listening to this episode. We are chugging along. Remember to tell 3 of your friends. Check out the Instagram at Furloughed Film Talks. Twitter at Furloughed Film. Stay safe this weekend. We will see you guys Monday night.
Adios, amigos.